Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Spirit Guide Show. Let me know if you can see me and hear me. That would be great. So I know technically everything is working. And then let me know where you're from. I see lots of people already posting in the chat. That's great. So let me see. We have Sarah. I don't know where you're from yet, but she seems to be excited. And we have Cindy from Oxford, Lori from Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. We have some Maureen from New York, Eileen from Banbury here in the UK. We have Ciel from Andalusia. Veronica says Happy Easter. Happy Easter to all of you who celebrate that. Deborah from Florida. Thanks, Veronica, letting me know that she can hear me. Perfect. Cindy says also that she can hear me. Perfect. Martin from Yorkshire. God, I've known Martin for, I don't even know, since 1997. We've been in the US together for a study program abroad. Tom from the UK. Jackie from Canada. Evie. Hi, Evie. Evie's been a student of mine for a while already, a long time. George. Hey, George. Joe from the UK. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. Revati. Melbourne. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. I'm so sorry. Maria from Northern California. Hi, Maria. Martin says we've known each other for 24 years. That's a very long time. Michelle says hello from Tennessee. Awesome. I'm so happy you guys are here. This month's theme for the Spirit Guide show is laying the foundations of Spirit Guide communication. So learning the very basics. And all episodes of the Spirit Guide show throughout April are dedicated to this theme. And then it will culminate in a live workshop on May 3rd, during which you will practically apply what you learned throughout the month. And the goal is to lay the foundations on which you can build a relationship with your own spirit guides. So you actually, like over the next 3 weeks and months, I'm going to teach you how to do that. Don't worry if you miss. Oh my God, today I don't know what's going on. Don't worry if you miss one of the episodes, that's totally fine. In the workshop, we will go over everything again, but then you will get to practically apply what you learned. And I'm excited about bringing that to you. So, and we do this so that you can connect with your spirit guides so they can help you step deeper into your purpose and make this world a more inclusive, egalitarian, and collaborative place for all beings. Especially nowadays, we need to seize the opportunity of change because, well, there's a lot of change happening. And when there's change happening, it's always a good idea to make sure that it goes where you want to go in a positive direction so that other people don't hijack the opportunity and use it to bring more negativity in the world. So you will receive like all relevant info via email every Saturday, one day before the show goes live. So if you're interested in that, pay attention, come to the show, and you will learn how to lay the foundations of Spirit Guide communication this month. So today is the first episode in this new series, and we will cover the following. By the end of the show, you will know why you have psychic experiences and what it means. If being a spirit worker is part of your purpose, and we will define that later, and if you can be a spirit worker even if you have had no prior experiences. And in the second part of the show, as always, we'll do a Q&A. You can ask me any questions about what we talked about earlier or about anything else to do with spirit guides. And then in the third part, we'll do mini readings. So I will do mini readings for 3-4 people, maybe 5. And that will be fun too. And I will connect you with your spirit guides and give you a message from them. Before we start, let me introduce myself in case you don't know me. My name is Yamile Yemoonyah, and I'm a spirit guide medium and a Hay House author. And you can find me at thespiritguidemedium.com. And I'll type that in the chat so you can check it out. Yeah, that's where you can find me. You can also find me on Instagram. I'll type that there as well. And that would be here. All right, so let us know in the chat if you have ever had a psychic experience. And by psychic experience, that could be anything that has to do with the spiritual realms, that has to do with experiences that can't be explained by Western science. Type yes or no in the chat if you've ever had a psychic experience. If you're not sure if it was a psychic experience, it probably was. So type yes. All right, so we have April says yes, Maureen says yes, Deborah says yes, Tom says my dreams are frames of future. Yes, that's definitely a psychic experience. Cindy says yes, Tom says yes, so yes. Revati, I'm still not sure how to pronounce your name, so sorry. Yes, Jordan says yes. Lee, I'm not sure. Lee MG says no. Thiel says no. George, I have odd dreams. So yes, yay, George. Michelle says yes. Eileen says I saw a ghost when I was, I think, 7 or 8. Definitely counts. Maria says yes, yes, yes. Martin says yes. Joe says yes. Evie says yes. Christine says yes. Great. If you haven't had one, don't worry. Stay around. I will talk about you later. Also, while you're at it, like share the Spirit Guide show with anyone who would be interested in watching the show with us today. There's a share button, I think, for you up there. Might be up there. I'm not quite sure, but there's a share button somewhere. So use it and invite anyone who might be interested in this topic. If you have any tech issues, reload the page. If you can't hear me anymore, can't see me anymore, anything else happens, just refresh the page. It usually solves the problem. If you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook, come on over here, because only here can I give you a reading or answer your questions. There's a link either above or below, depending on the social network you're using. So come on over, click that link, and then you have the chance to get a reading and to ask me questions. Otherwise, you can just watch on YouTube and Facebook. All right, that's it. Let's get started. So since we are going to talk about laying the foundations of spirit guide communication over the next 4 weeks, we need to start at the beginning. First, you need to ask yourself if working with your spirit guides on a conscious level to make this world a better place is a path you want to commit to. Because if you don't commit to it, just like with everything else, it's not going to work. We need to say, okay, this is what I want to do. This maybe not what I want to do. And that's the question I want to help you answer today. That's where we are going to get started with this whole journey. So what does it mean? And we're going to start with this first question. What does it mean to have psychic experiences? No matter what your experience was like, pay attention. Trust it. There is a message in there, but don't let your ego get in the way by overanalyzing things. And to help you do this, here's something you can do to find the meaning of your psychic experiences. First of all, write everything down as soon as it happens. Like it happens, you sit down, start writing, or you can dictate it into your phone. That's totally fine. Like every phone has like a dictation or a voice memo app, and use that. And then describe what exactly happened. Be specific. Detail how you felt while it was happening, not after. Because after our ego comes in, you don't want to write down what your ego thinks. You want to write down or dictate into your phone what actually happened. So how did you feel while it was happening? What you heard, saw, smelled, tasted while it was happening. Then write down what you think it meant. Listen to your intuition. What do you think it meant? And how does it relate to what your current life questions, hopes, situations you are dealing with are? So write that down, like basically sit down, close your eyes, listen to your intuition. You can also set a stopwatch for 15 minutes and just start writing, and just write down what you think it meant. And you can ask yourself these questions, and then after that, only then allow your analytical mind to start asking questions and be doubtful. So was this real? What does it mean? Am I crazy? Write these down as well, like these thoughts that you have, that our ego has. And you write these down as well to honor your ego, because our ego is useful. We need it. We need it in everyday life. And when it knows that it is honored, it will behave better. It will work with us instead of against us. And then now that you've written down like what it felt like during the experience, and then what you think it meant, and then your doubts, now you can go and maybe look it up on Google, do your research, and see what other people have to say. So if you've had an experience with an animal spirit, do not rush to the internet and look it up, like, what does it mean? No, just first do this like exercise. First, write down what exactly happened, because our brain will change it over time. And if you write it down what it was really like, you will it will be easier for you to remember what actually happened. Then write down what you think, what your intuition, what your higher self says, what it meant. And then also your doubts about it. Give your doubts room. That's okay. And then go and maybe ask someone else, Google it, whatever you want to do. But here's what all psychic experiences have in common. They always have a message, and they always have a meaning. These messages can come from your spirit guides. They can also come from your higher self, but they can also come from your spirit guides. They are meant as way markers, insights, and comfort for your soul. In short, they show us that we are moving in the right or best direction, or how to move in that direction. Sometimes, like, our psychic experiences are direct, like orders, like this is how you do it. That can happen. They can also mean that you were invited to make your spirit guides a part of your life, and to create a relationship with them that will help you step deeper into your purpose and maybe even become a spirit worker. So no matter what your psychic experience is like, what it means for you personally, generally, it can mean, and often means, that your spirit guides are around you and that they're inviting you, they're calling you to work with them and live your purpose with their help and step deeper into your purpose. And now the question is being a spirit worker part of your purpose? Now, how do you know if you are called by your spirit guides to work and collaborate with them? Especially if you have regular psychic experiences, it is a sign that you are called to closely work with your guides as a spirit worker. And I use this term spirit worker as a catch-all for all professional mediums, shamans, witches, healers, but also everyday people who work with their guides to make this world a better place. For now, there is absolutely no need to label what you are. If you are, let's say, a medium, a shaman, a witch, a healer, or whatever, it doesn't matter right now. The important thing is to follow that calling as a spirit worker. And also, you don't have to label yourself as any of those. Maybe you don't want to do it professionally. That's fine too, as long as you incorporate like your relationship with your spirit guides to make this world a better place. You're a spirit worker. And no, you do not have to quit your job, leave your family, become a vegan, meditate all day long, live in a monastery, or move to the Amazon. All you have to do is follow the breadcrumbs, the signs, the symbols, the visions, etc. If you are super interested in Reiki, take a class in Reiki. If people tell you you would make a great healer, take a workshop in spiritual healing, etc. Listen to the signs that you get. And the most important part is like, take action. You won't get the next message if you do not take action. And I say this again and again and again, but you don't have to know what's at the end. You don't have to know that you're going to be a professional tarot card reader. All you need to know is like, if you get the intuition to go buy a deck of oracle cards or tarot cards, go buy them and then play with them and see what happens. Maybe next month you're into Reiki and that's totally fine. Or maybe you're going to stick with it and are going to be the best tarot reader in the entire world. Who knows? But just like follow your intuition step by step by step. Yeah, like I said, you won't get the next message if you don't take action on the message that you've gotten now. And how do you know that you're specifically called to be a spirit worker? Well, if spirituality, psychic development, etc. are your hobby, you talk about nothing else, you admire professional mediums, psychics, shamans, witches, etc. You secretly dream of doing the same thing, you read tons of books on the subject, you have psychic experiences to do with helping others, that's all signs that you are called. Follow that call. And now there are some that said earlier you haven't had any psychic experiences. And so maybe you're wondering, well, can I be a spirit worker even if I've had no prior like psychic experiences? Yes, you can. Naturally occurring psychic experiences happen to people who have a gift to open up to the spirit world. And when I talk about gift, what I mean is like a predisposition towards a specific skill, in this case, talking to your spirit guides. But gift simply means that you probably put in the work in a previous lifetime, and now it feels like something that fell into your lap, like a gift that you got. But even the biggest gift needs practice. Just like someone can be a very gifted tennis player, but if that person just never plays tennis, it's not going to go anywhere. Makes sense, right? Without practice, you won't go very far. If you don't have that advantage of being a natural at this, don't worry. You can still catch up by putting in the work now. Like every skill, your psychic senses can be trained. And talking to spirit guides can be learned. You do not have to have a gift for it. Yes, you have a little bit of an advantage if you can do it naturally, but like I said, a gift doesn't guarantee anything. And if you make the commitment because you feel the calling, because inside you feel, wow, this is something that calls to me, this is something that I feel I want to commit to, this is a path I want to take, you can become a spirit worker. Absolutely. And you will be better at it than a natural with a born gift who never honed their craft. So let that sink in. You can, anything that you want to learn, be it this or be it any other skill, you can absolutely do it. You just have to believe in yourself and you have to go out and practice. That's all it takes. So over the next few months, I will take you through the process of becoming a spirit worker, of knowing how to work with your spirit guides to make this world a better place. And if that's something you want to commit to, you will learn how to connect with your guides, consciously communicate with them, and build a better world with their help. So next week, we will look at how to know if your intuitive and psychic experiences are real or if you are just making it up. And then on May 3rd, we will do the workshop where you will have the chance to practice connecting with your guides. All right, so after all this, let me know in the chat, do you feel called and ready to embark on this path with your spirit guides? If so, then type yes in the chat. And if you want, you can also say no, that's totally fine. But the point of today was for you to realize, is this something, excuse me, that I feel called to do? And do I want to commit to that path? And do I want to put in the work? Because then you're in the right place. If all you want to do is just like watch this and at the same time you're doing a million other things and I don't know, that's totally fine too. Tune in whenever you want. But then don't expect like any progress. So I'm seeing lots of yeses. That's super exciting. Deborah says yes. Eileen says yes. Michelle says yes. Shirley says yes. George says no. See, totally fine. Maureen says yes. Rosa says yes. Evie says yes. Jackie says yes. April says yes. Veronica says yes. Lots of yeses. Tom says, I've been led here by some sort of guidance. Exactly. Listen to that guidance. April says absolutely. And lots more yeses. Perfect. Very exciting. Great. So if you want to learn more and use your spirit guides' wisdom to create real change in your own and other people's lives, or let them help you come back to your true self so you can then serve others from a centered and authentic place, I'm also in the process of building a community called Spirit Guide Society. And it's bringing together spiritual seekers, light workers, and spiritual activists and spirit workers like you who are on a quest to create relationships with their spirit guides. So if that is something that you're interested in, and if you want to join me in that, then click that button below that says Follow Your Spirit Guides Call. That will take you to a page on my website. And that's the wait list for when Spirit Guide Society opens. So you don't have to make any commitments there. You just give me your email address so I can let you know when it opens up. And then also, if you sign up for that wait list, you'll also get a 25% discount for a spirit guide reading with me. I usually, well, once or twice a year, I do sales. But otherwise, you can only get the discount if you're here with me live. All right, so do you have any questions? Let me know. Let me know in the Ask a Question section. Or how many people are we? 31. Yeah, let me know in the Ask a Question section. That's down there. It's like, if you're on your laptop, it's right beneath the green button that says Follow Your Spirit Guides Call. And I think on mobile, it's a little box with a question mark in it. So you can just click on that. And then let me know if you have any questions about what we talked about earlier or anything else to do with spirit guides, spirituality in general, or anything like that. So let me know. I'll have a look. No one has a question yet. What's up, guys? You usually have like a lot of questions. Last time we went like 45 minutes over because you guys had so many questions. Oh, here's a question. Is there a risk of getting sick physically when channeling? Is there a risk of getting sick physically when channeling? That question is asked by Anais. I'm not sure. I don't think so. I just had to think about it for a little bit because I don't want to give you a wrong answer, but I've never heard of anyone getting sick. What might happen is that you get really hot or really cold, or that you, for example, I know someone who gets like a metallic feeling in their throat, or that you start like shivering a little bit, or you might, I'm sure there are people that feel a little bit nauseous, but that is not because you're actually getting physically ill. That's just the energy, because when you connect with your spirit guides, you feel their higher vibrations, and your body might not be used to it, so your body reacts to it, but that's not dangerous, or you can't get ill from that. Yeah, and that's my answer. Next question comes from Martin. So Martin asks, I'll let other people go first, as I can ask you anytime. No, ask me here, Martin. All right, let's see who else. Okay, so here's another question by Eileen. Was just wondering why I saw a ghost when I was young and it's now more than 30 years. Well, Eileen, that's because when we were younger, and I'm assuming you were a kid or a very young person back then, it's easier for us to open up to the spiritual worlds. We are not that caught up in our sense of reality that our society gives us. We haven't learned what real is and what not real is, so we just like are open to seeing things that our brain nowadays might just like filter out because we just think, oh, that can't be real because that's not scientifically proven, so we filter it out. And that actually means that we all have these experiences, for example, in dreams. But then, like I said, our brain just automatically filters it out, and we don't even really have access to it. But we still communicate with our guides. We just don't realize it. And so, if you've ever had this experience, that means the door can be opened more easily than if you've never had it. You just need to like get back to that innocent trust that you had in your experiences as a child. Then Lee, I'm gonna call you Lee because I don't know Ling. I'm not sure, but let me call you Lee. I'll answer your question. So Lee asks, I am having a lot of resistance. Why? Well, there can be lots of different reasons. And one could be that you grew up in a tradition that doesn't approve of psychic phenomena. For example, a lot of people that grow up in Catholic environments are taught that that when you have psychic experiences, it's the devil, these kinds of things, and so we grow up with fears. It could also be that you watched a lot of horror movies that basically implant you with that fear of like these kinds of things. And so then your resistance can stem from that fear. I think this is most likely the case because that's what it usually is. Yeah, let me know in the chat if that could be it. All right, and then there's another question from Lee, which is also had the experience of almost travel outside of my body, stopped it, and now even if I don't know what the rest of the question is, but I'm guessing you stopped it because you got scared. That's totally normal. I'm definitely not an expert in astral travel. But from what I hear from others, it's like, especially in the, a lot of people experience like this vibrating feeling before they leave their bodies. And that scares a lot of people because it's a weird experience, a weird sensation. I've had that definitely before. And so then the ego gets scared because it's not used to what's going on. It doesn't know, it's out of control. And so the ego gets scared and tells us like, stop it, stop it, stop it. And then we go back into our bodies. All right, so then we have, all right, Laurie asks, okay, so Laurie wants to know, I have seen green and red lights on the wall in my bedroom and kind of pushed to wake me. I try to figure out what they are trying to tell me. Well, what do you think it means? Like in that moment when you had the experience, what did you think it meant? Because we all have that right away, like something happens and we know why it happens. It's just that afterwards our like ego kicks in, our rational mind kicks in and says like, oh, well, I don't know what it means. I don't know, but you do know. And I'm not saying that to torture you, but your soul knows and your intuition knows. Think back to what did it feel like when it happened? Why in that moment, why did you think it happened? But again, otherwise, the only answer I can give you right now is that it's a sign to wake you up, like maybe even literally, like wake you up, like, hey, it's time, wake up in a spiritual sense, of course. But I can't tell you what it means. We would have to ask your spirit guides. Then, all right. So Martin asks, when you actually get touched, I'm guessing by a spirit, it seems impossible to believe it. Are we actually being touched, or is this in the mind? It's both. So if a spirit touches you and you feel it, it's not a physical sensation, even though it can seem physical because our senses translate it as a touch. But it's their energy touching our energy. So not in a physical sense, but on an energetic level, they touch us, and our senses interpret that as a physical touch because that's what we're used to. And that's what it is. Shirley wants to know if negative energies can hide so that they can't be moved on. I'm guessing also, again, you're talking about spirits. Well, this is a complicated question because some spiritual traditions believe in the fact that spirits, and in this sense, the spirits of dead people, can be stuck and need to be helped to move on. And other spiritual traditions do not believe that. They think that once you die, you automatically go into whatever you want to call it, spirit world, heaven, and that there is no way you can get stuck. So that's the first thing. If we assume that spirits can get stuck, then I would think that not all of them want to be helped to move on, and can probably do some things to hide. Yes. So yes, if you assume that spirits can be stuck, not everyone does, then they can probably also hide. A good way to bring them out in that case is to really learn a little bit about them, be it from that you can actually do actual research, or that you just, like, by feeling them around you, you can feel what kind of personality they have, what kind of character they are, and then work with that. Or just like you would with a little child who hides beneath the sink or something. How do you get the child out? It's very similar. You just talk to that spirit, you explain to the spirit, you ask the spirit, like, why do you not want to leave? What's the problem? And then you help the spirit solve the problem, and then they are happy to move on. That would be my answer. All right, so then we have April wants to know if her whole immediate family are rainbow, crystal, and indigo children. How could I confirm this? We are all very spiritual on some level. Well, that by itself is already a confirmation. And these things often, fairly often are passed down in families, so that the whole family is interested in this, and that the whole family is very sensitive. Just like you can, like, everyone in the family can have blue eyes, you can all be sensitive to the spirit world. Absolutely. How you can confirm this? Well, I think listen to your intuition. There's no scientific test for it. But if you already think that's how it is, then it probably is. Then here, Thiel is asking a funny question. Can your guides be pissed at you? Again, yes and no. They can pretend to be pissed at you. When I do readings for people, it happens sometimes that a guide will come through and will say things like, I know you haven't been doing what you were supposed to be doing, even though you said you were going to, and then goes like this a little bit. But that's all in fun. Like, they are not going to be actually angry at you. They're not going to punish you. They're not going to leave you. No, that is not going to happen. Absolutely not. Okay. Rosa says, I have phases when I can remember my dreams effortlessly, and then phases when I don't remember them at all. From what I've researched, we always dream. I set intentions before I fall asleep. The intention to remember my dream is one of those intentions, but sometimes I wake up with no trace of a dream. Any tips on lucid dreaming for beginners? No, sorry, I'm not a lucid dreamer. I wish I was. It's on my bucket list. I really want to learn it. I have a few books about it, but I haven't gotten around to learn it yet. However, what I do know, just in theory, is that to become a clearer dreamer and to remember your dreams better is to write them down. Similar to what we said earlier about like your psychic experiences, take out a journal or your phone and just like write down or speak into your phone your dreams, like right away after you wake up, write it down and exactly what happened. This programs your brain to take dreams seriously. Again, you're like, in our society, dreams are not being taken seriously. They're more like, who cares? They're not important. So our brain is like tuned to just disregard them. If you train your brain and tell your brain, this is important, I want to remember what I dreamt about, it will do it. It's a little bit like a computer like that. So, and you can do that by, in the morning, keeping a dream journal. And Cindy asks, wondering why sometimes I feel really connected with my higher self and feel my guides around me, but then other times I cannot feel them at all. That's probably because of your own like energy, in the sense that sometimes we're all high energy and so we're very connected and it's easy because we're happy and we don't have so many problems and all that. And then sometimes in life where our energy is just low, we're scared or we have other kinds of problems, and that can have an effect on you. Or if you're super tired or whatever it is, that's just how humans are. Our energy isn't always on the same level. It just like goes up and down, and we have our phases. So there's nothing wrong with that. Just go with it. Don't think there's anything wrong. Don't think that you did something wrong. Don't think that suddenly you lost your abilities or whatever it is. It will come back. Trust is the most important thing. And then the more you learn about it, the more you practice, the more you will also learn how to raise your vibration so that you can come back into the flow and connect with them again. All right, let's see how many more. Okay, we have 3 more. 2 more. One I actually already answered. Tom says, I can feel that my spirit guides have led me here to talk to them. I have had a lot of signs recently. Loneliness, lack of love, sun like a fireball. I'm not sure what sun like a fireball means, but I'm glad you're here. Welcome. And yeah, I hope I can help you with that. Eileen wants to know, and this is a question that I get asked a lot, how do I find out what certain numbers mean? I feel I'm shown these numbers a lot, but don't know what it means. Well, there are, of course, the books that you can like get and look it up, and that's all fine. But again, first, when it happens, what does it mean to you? Did you feel that maybe it was connected to something that you were already thinking about. Maybe you just decided that you should start your own business and now you're seeing these signs everywhere. Well, maybe that means that you're on the right path and you should start your own business. Or maybe you just decided to go back to school and then you're suddenly seeing these numbers. So again, the meaning of signs, psychic experiences, and all that, you can find it in yourself. That's the right answer. And only after you, first of all, trust your experience that it was real and that it has a meaning, and after you define the meaning for yourself, however vague that is, however whatever, then you can go and get the book. There are books on angel numbers. One is by Kyle Gray. He just launched it a few months ago, I think. And then you can look that up. All right, guys, let me see the time because I really, really need to start doing the readings. I'm just gonna, oh, here we have a lucid dreamer. All right. So Evie says, I am a lucid dreamer. I've been studying the topic and lucid dreaming for years. I'm open to talking about the subject with anyone who's interested. I love discussing it. Great, Evie. I didn't even know that. How about we do an interview with you and then I'll send it to everyone else, or we do it live? Would you be up for that? That would be great because I want to learn it too. And I'm sure there's others out there too. So if you want me to interview Evie about lucid dreaming, let me know and type yes in the chat. I'm very excited about it. And then Heather asked, and also a question that I get asked a lot. So Heather wants to know, is there a real way to hear, communicate with my guides? I feel they have a very strong message for me. I just can't hear them. Yes, you can. It depends what you mean by real, because you say, is there a real way? I'm guessing that you make the distinction between, for example, clairaudience, which would mean like hearing them in a sense of like subjective clairaudience is when you hear them inside of your own head, like in a dream or in a memory, you hear someone talk, but you don't actually hear it outside of yourself. And objective clairaudience would be if you actually hear a voice from outside of yourself. Both are real and both are valid. The only reason that we say one is real and the other is not real is to satisfy our ego, because our ego needs that like outside validation that something really happened. But that is really just a thing that we have in Western society. In other societies, people know that inner experiences are just as real. So what I'm teaching you guys over the next few months is how to connect with your guides. That will, for most people, probably happen on an inner basis, but I will also teach you how you can know if it's real or not. And for some, it might happen on an objective level, but that is that's not like, I can't guarantee that will happen. Absolutely not, because that's just not possible to guarantee. But I can guarantee that you can learn to communicate with your guides. All right, that's it with questions. Let me have a quick look at my notes so I don't forget anything. Right, so all right, so we're going to do mini readings, which means I will connect you with your guides and I will give you a message from them. This is open to anyone who's new. So anyone who's never had a message from me here on the show or in a one-on-one session. If you are new to the show, you've never had a reading, then go again to the Ask a Question section that you just used to ask questions. So not in the chat, But down here below the green button, or there's a little box with a question mark in it of if you're on mobile. And then type newbie. Nothing else, no whole sentences, no questions, just newbie. And then I'll invite you on screen, which means you will get a little notification that tells you that I invited you on screen. You can say, yes, I want to come on screen, and then I can give you a reading. All right. In the meantime, Maria says what works well for me to communicate with my guides is to meditate first to clear my mind and do automatic writing, sometimes with my non-dominant hand. Yes, that's a good way. And we will get into like ways to actually practically communicate with your guides during the workshops that I will be doing on a monthly basis. So if you're interested in that, pay attention. Like I said, I'll send out emails about that and you can sign up. All right, so let's see. I'll pick like random people and I'll just trust that spirit will pick the right people, or in that spirit will inspire me to pick the right people. And we're going to start with Rhonda. I'm going to invite you on screen, and I'll invite Ravati on screen, and I'll invite Christine on screen. And I'll just keep inviting people until someone shows up, and we'll invite April on screen. And there we have them. Yay.
Hi.
It's Christine. Hi, Christine.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you. Where are you from?
I'm from the Chicagoland area.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. And then we have, oh, please tell me how to pronounce your name.
You're doing fine. It's
Revati.
Revati.
Say it
Yes.
one more time.
Revati?
Revati. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to mute you for now. And then I'm going to start with Christine because she was first. All right, Christine, I'm going to close. Oh, we have someone else. I'll mute you too. All right. So I'm going to close my eyes. And I think I forgot to say some things. Hold on. Right. So what you need to know before I do the readings is that there are 7 types of spirit guides: angels, ancestors, nature beings like I can't think, fairies, elves, gnomes, etc. Then we have star beings, otherwise known as aliens, but I don't use that term because I don't want anyone to get scared. It's not like that. Then we have ascended masters, deities, and power animals. And power animals are the spirit of a whole species, not like the spirit or soul of one individual animal. And then the other thing is that we all have a team of guides. So the one who has the most important message will be the one that steps forward. So you might know that one already, or maybe not. And on the last thing is that you get the message that you need to hear, which might be different from what you expect to hear or want to hear.
Okay.
And then also, if anyone is on YouTube or on Facebook watching this, find the link in the description, either above or below, and come on over, because only here can I do a reading for you, not if you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube. All right, so let's get back to Christine. All right, I'm going to close my eyes and I'll tune in, and then we'll see what I get, okay? All right, Christine, I don't know yet who's there for you, But what I do get is an image of a friend of mine. And usually when this happens, when I do a reading and I see someone that I know in with my mind's eye, that means that there is a connection, not in the sense that you actually know my friend, but I think this has to do with you. Something about organizing stuff. It has to do with like either you're really good at organizing stuff or organizing people and setting like systems in place, or it's something that you actually have to work on. One of these two. Would you understand that?
Yes, I love to organize, and that's what I was doing last night. In
Ah,
fact, inside the house, yeah.
oh, there you go. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me see. All right. So there's an angel here for you. It's a female angel. I can only see that she's made out of light. Angels often do that. So I can't see like specific features or hair color. I just know it's an angel and she's made out of light and she's female. And her message for you is today is that yes, you're great at organizing. But sometimes you have to let things go a little bit, because organizing is a treat of people that being good at organizing is a treat of people that are good at being in control of things, but often not so great at not being in control of things.
Yeah.
So in your case, or in most cases like this, that also means that when you are stressed out, you start organizing. Would that be correct? Yeah,
Yeah,
because it makes you feel in control, because
I just right.
you want
I
to, you take whatever you can control and control it so your mind doesn't freak out.
yeah, forget
And
about it.
that's totally fine. There's um, nothing wrong with that. It's one of your strengths, and that's great. But sometimes you need to let go and just like sit and feel your emotions and just let your emotions run free. And if that means that you just like break down and have a good cry, that's totally fine. Or if that means that you get angry, that's also fine.
Okay.
So don't stuff your emotions down by doing things, by trying to stay in control, because yeah, sometimes you just need to let go.
That
And
makes
that's something that's important for you at this moment. So maybe take an hour today or tomorrow or half an hour and just write, in the sense of just like automatic writing. Just write down whatever
okay.
comes to your mind. It doesn't matter what it is. If you don't know what to write, say I don't know what to write. Just don't stop for 20 minutes. Just keep writing and let everything that's inside of you out. Like, I'm sad, I'm angry, I love today, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be a story. No one's going to write and read it. It doesn't matter if the
Okay.
grammar is correct. Just write and
Okay.
let stuff out. And that's
Okay.
what your angel wants you to do.
I will. Sounds good.
And that, she says, that's important also for relationships. And I will leave it at that. But it's important for like to it helps with the relationships with the people that are in your life.
Okay.
All right. Thank you
Thank you.
for coming. I hope
Thank
that helped.
you. Yes. Thank you.
All right. All right. Let's see. And now we go to Ravad. Oh, I forget again. All right. So tell me one more time how to say your name.
It's Revati.
Revati. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to close my eyes. Oh, wait. It helps me to take a look at the people that I'm reading for, because somehow that sparks it. Okay. All right, there's a female angel for you too. Lately, we've got lots of angels. Um, And here's an example. We just talked about this of an angel comes and has a little bit of a, you're not listening. And don't worry, like this is nothing bad. But she's saying that you are a sensitive soul. You know that already. And you know that you need to be careful with how you spend your energy and that you don't overdo it, especially when it comes to giving your energy to others who might not cherish what you have to give them. And she says, you know that. Would that make sense to you?
Yeah.
So you probably know that you're an empath and that you tend to like overgive, and then you are completely depleted. And the other person is like, yay, I'm feeling great. And you're like, I'm not feeling great. Is that a situation that you know?
Yes.
Yeah. So your angel is saying, because you know that, you need to be more careful with that. You need to set yourself boundaries. And there's like this finger a little bit like if you and listen to your intuition. If your intuition tells you that it's maybe not worth putting your energy or giving your energy to someone who doesn't appreciate it, do not do it. Listen to your own energy. Take your energy back, take a step back, let them figure things out for themselves, let them do their own thing. You do not have to do it for them if it depletes you. If you are depleted, you can't help anyone else. So first things first, take care of yourself, then take care of the others. It's just like on an airplane, when the masks fall down and you have a child with you, you put the mask on first because otherwise you can't help the child. And that's a very similar situation. So and your angel is talking about that, because she says you have plans, you have dreams that you want to make come true, and if you spend all your energy on people who do not appreciate it, there's not enough for you and you can't follow your dreams. And it's important that you follow your dream, because that's where you can really help. And there's something about you. Have you ever thought about starting a business, or do you run your own business?
Yes, I'm thinking, contemplating of starting
Yeah,
my own
exactly.
business. Yeah.
Exactly. But if you spend all your energy over here, you don't have it to like put it into like starting that business. And it's important that you focus on what's important and let other people figure it out for themselves. Yeah, and that's the message. I hope that helps. All right. Thank you so much for coming. All right. And then we have April. Let me unmute you. Hi, April.
Hello.
Where are you from?
I'm from Rock Falls, Illinois.
Perfect. So, all right. Let me see. Okay, it's interesting. The first thing that I get, and I don't get this often, but clairaudience, and I got it subjectively, so I didn't hear it from outside. I heard it inside my own being. She has stars in her eyes. That's what I heard. There's connection to what we might call witchcraft today, to magic with a K at the end, in the sense that you are able to direct energy. Some people would call it manipulate energy. I don't like the word manipulate, so I'm going to say direct energy. So you're probably very sensitive to energies in general. Would that be correct?
Yes.
Right. So, and the next step for you is to learn to harness that energy and direct it so that you can make things happen for yourself and for others. There's a star being for you here. I can't see it clearly, but not yet anyway, but it's definitely a star being. And it's helping you with this. There's also an ascended master, by the way, but I can't do both right now. Let's stick with the star being. The star being helps you to harness that skill of like feeling energies, perceiving energies, and then directing them in a way to make things happen, basically to manifest things. So the message is to go further down that path. Whatever you can do, whatever you feel called to do, to go in more in that direction of really opening yourself up to feeling energies or perceiving energies and then using them is what you should be doing. So that could be Reiki, it could be spirit guide communication, it could be
That's interesting because I am a Reiki master teacher and I do practice Reiki. I've had people telling me you need to start opening up more to the, doing it to the public because I only do it privately. So that's I understand completely where this is going.
Well, there you go. And what's funny, and I obviously didn't know that you were a Reiki master, but a lot of Reiki people work with star beings. Because I don't know why, it's like star beings are really good with energies too, and so they like to work with people that are into this as well, and Reiki people obviously are. So I will often get Reiki masters that have star beings that work with them and actually help them during the healings and stuff. So yeah, definitely go more in that direction. Could be that you open up to another way of working with energies or just go deeper into the Reiki. That's up to you, what path you're going to choose. But if you go more into that, that will benefit you definitely and the people that you help. And yeah, there's also something about a past life as a witch. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Okay.
I work a lot with crystals and things like that, and I'm very drawn to it. I have been told I'm Native American descent, and I have been told of shamanism in my ancestry. So
Yeah, that makes sense. There's something there.
I
Call
need
it.
the names.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, also work with your ancestors. They can teach you more as well. All right. So thank you for coming. I hope this helps. And
Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. All right, guys, that's it for today. I'm very happy that you are here. Thank you. If you want to book a one-on-one reading with me, which is private and obviously longer, and you will get the chance to ask your spirit guides any kinds of questions. You will also get more details about your spirit guides. Then again, click that green button below that says follow your spirit guides call. And so that you can get the 25% off coupon for your first spirit guide reading. And also, if you want to be notified once Spirit Guide Society opens its doors, also click that button, sign up for the waitlist, and I'll notify you. So then you can join our community. And one more time, if you're on Instagram, I would love to see you there. I'll type it again in the chat. Here you go. Oh, it's not doing anything. Oh, I can't do it again because Crowdcast won't let me type the same message again. Wait. There you go. Let me see. Right, so that's it for today. Thank you so much for coming. I hope I'll see you next time. Next time, we'll take the next mini step in communicating with our guides. All right, thank you guys. Bye, and stay safe.